So let us begin by logging in, and we are automatically sent to data and to workshops. And to start a school, we would want to click on the Add Workshop tab. Before we do that, let me go to Guides, however, and let me stress that in the beginning of Stage 3 is when you should add the future guides. So we would add guide, fill out the, select the role to be a regular guide, and then select the status to be future guide. Fill in the first name and the last name. The certificate number, of course, is not available yet, so we leave that blank, and then we would save. So we would enter all of the future guides into the system, select their status to be future. Also go to admin or have your local admin do this, and add the user. Get a password from them, because since they are giving a workshop, they need to be able to access the web app, create the workshop, enter the attendance, submit the reports, just as a regular guide would do. So let's go back to data. We've taken care of the future guides in terms of entering them into the system, but we also want to enter the school as a generic workshop. So we say Add Workshop, and we immediately select the type. At the bottom we have Guide Preparation School Stage 3. We select the language. The coordination is automatically set, and then the teaching guide, the same teaching guide that taught the school for the first two stages, is normally the teaching guide for the third stage, the supervised workshops. So the rest of this you can see is gray. We can't edit these, and I'll show you why later. But it's basically the number of future guides that started their workshops, the number of future guides that were sent, and then the number of future guides that dropped out. In addition, we have the number of future guides sent the following semester and the number of future guides that dropped out during the following semester. These two boxes will be filled in based on the entries that you make in the enrollment section. And this is to account for the fact that sometimes a school does not finish in time for the sending mass to be held before the reports are due. So after selecting this, we would say Save. We're creating the school. The type is GPS 3, the language, there's no day. And so we have our school entered into the system. The number of workshops / schools is 1. And the teaching guide is given credit for being working during that semester because of this Stage 3 school. So over here we see that we have edited the workshop, we've created it already, and that's all finished. The only other thing to do is to enter the enrollment. So we click on the enrollment tab, and we could add a future guide one at a time. We would enter in their first name, last name, gender, age, just like it is a participant. However, but hopefully we would have them in the system already because they went through stages 1 and 2. And in that case, we would want to click on the search icon, Add Previous. So we're going to add previous guide or guides. And this automatically takes us to the previous semester. The workshop type is given here as stage 3, but we want to change that to stages 1 and 2. And in this case, I want to go back to semester 1 of 2018 for this example. And then for the parish, I'm going to choose the parish at which the stages 1 and 2 were taught. Okay, so we have 4 of the future guides who went through stages 1 and 2. And in this case, we want to enroll all of them. If one of them didn't finish, we would not check that one, of course. We would then save this, and we're back to enrollment, and we see the 4 future guides here. We can go ahead and say done, and we see that the school is listed with 4 initial participants. All right, for most of the semester, this is all that we need to do because we don't have to keep track of attendance. There's no way to click on this box. But towards the end of the semester, or if a future guide drops out, we want to click on enrollment. And this is where it gets a little bit tricky. The way that we enter the status of each of these future guides at the end of the semester is to click on Edit All. And then we select the property Status and Date. So for each future guide, we select a status at the end of the semester. So let's say this first future guide gets sent. We need to click on the date. Let's say it was December 1st. This next guide, let's say, gets sent at the same sending mass on December 1st. But let's say this third one dropped out. And so we would select dropped out, and we would select a date for them having dropped out. And then this final one, let's say that their workshop did not finish until after the reports are due, and so he or she was not able to be sent. We would select this option, to be sent, at a future date. So there's no date associated with that yet, but it just lets the web app know that this guide is still going to be sent, but was not sent by the end of the semester. Let's go ahead and save that. So once we have saved that, we have finished the reporting requirements for the semester. And notice that back here on future guides, we would need to go to all in order to see all of the future guides, because their status is no longer normal. The normal status is for those who are teaching the workshop at the time, giving the workshop still during that semester. So let's say done here. So now we have 4 starting and 2 finishing or being sent. Okay, so let's go to reports for that same semester. Go to the local coordination reports and generate the local statistics. We go down to guide preparation schools, and we see that this school has a green mark because it is all ready to be reported. Number of future guides started, 4, number sent, number that dropped out. And then in the following semester, if that guide that did not finish the workshop and was not sent yet, we need to go back and update that particular guide finished, got sent in the second semester, and at that time that future guide would show up on the second semester side, stage 3. All right, just to review a little bit, we want to make sure that we enter our future guides into the system. We click on future here. We want to see all of the future guides at the beginning of that stage 3 semester so that they can give their workshops and report them in the web app. The other thing is that we enter the Stage 3 school here as a workshop and select Stage 3, and the guide here is the teaching guide. Once that is finished, the only other step is to enter the guides, use the add previous to get them from stages 1 and 2 workshop that should already be there. And then at the end of the semester, we want to edit all, select the status and the date, select the status of being sent, of being dropped out, or to be sent at a future date. And keep in mind that if one is to be sent at a future date, when that occurs, we need to go back to this semester and change to sent in that following semester, and then give the date. All right, I hope this is clear, and if you have any questions, please contact me.